From above, Ozone Falls looks like something straight out of a movie, and that's because it is. This is the waterfall used in Disney's The Jungle Book. As we drop off the gorge, the cliffs close in, the mist rises, and you start to understand why the filmmakers chose this exact spot. It feels untouched, wild, and larger than life. Today I'm exploring the real Jungle Book waterfall, right here in Tennessee. Good morning, YouTube. Scott Dunnage Garage. How you doing today? We are going to go see some waterfalls, so stay tuned. Before we get to Ozone Falls, there's another waterfall along the way I want to check off the list. It's nothing huge, but it's close enough to the route that it just makes sense to stop. So before chasing the Jungle Book waterfall, I'm making a quick detour to Middle Fork Falls. The first stop, Middle Fork Falls. Not the Jungle Book waterfall, but a solid warm-up. I started with a quick hike out to the Overlook to get a look down at the main falls. Then I dropped down the trail to the bottom. It's a peaceful little spot, just enough flow to give the place some life. We're at Middle Fork Falls, about 10 minutes from the Wind Rock OHV Park. Absolutely beautiful. It's kind of a steep climb to get to the lower section. I use climbing sticks, I'd recommend it. There's a smaller set of falls right underneath the bridge at the top. We'll go take a look at that next. After exploring the base, I followed the trail up to the upper falls. A much smaller drop, but still worth a short climb. A simple, quiet start before moving on to the main event. Here are the falls from the top. The upper is not quite as spectacular, but it is a waterfall. Leaving Middle Fork behind, I hit the road again and made a quick stop for gas before pushing toward the lake where I plan to camp for the night. Nothing fancy, just topping off the tank and grabbing a few things before the last stretch of the drive.
The road opened up as I got closer, and by the time I reached the lake, the sun had settled into that late day calm. I didn't film much at camp, just a quiet panoramic of the water. Peaceful, still, and a perfect way to wrap up the day. The next morning, the lake greeted me with a thin mist lifting off the water. Fog drifted slowly across the surface, softening the trees and shoreline. The perfect calm before heading out to the main event, Ozone Falls. A short drive later, I pulled into the trailhead and started the hike to the top of the falls. It's a fairly easy hike until the sound of rushing water starts to cut through the trees. At the top of Ozone Falls, you finally get the full perspective. Water spilling over the cliff, framed by rugged rock and trees. This is the view that makes the whole trip worth it. From above, the drone really shows off the scale, the sheer drop, the gorge, and how wild and untouched the place feels. After soaking in the views from above, I headed down to the base.
All right, we just looked down from the top of the falls. There's a trail along the highway that takes you down to the bottom of the falls, but it also has a surprise. Let's go check this out.
The trail twists and drops along an edge, with quick glimpses of the falls through the trees until you finally step out and the full cascade opens up in front of you. Standing at the bottom, you really feel the scale of it. Even with the gentle flow that day, the pools, rocks, and cliffs make it a spot you don't forget. On the hike out, the trails pull you back into the forest. I made a quick stop to look for an old gambler's house. No luck finding it, but it was a good reminder of how many stories the woods are hiding.
Now about halfway down is supposed to be what they call like the gambler's den. It's a house where they used to gamble back in the day. This is the only thing I could see that would potentially be that. If you're familiar with the area, and this isn't it, comment below and let me know.
Eventually the trees thinned out and the trail opened up again. The Ozone Falls adventure was over, but seeing it from top to bottom is one of those memories that sticks with you. Thanks for watching, thanks for subscribing, and we'll see you in the next video. Have a blessed day.